In the late 70s, the parish priest of Knock, James Horn, hatched an ambitious plan to build an international airport on this boggy hillside in County Mayo. How that dream became reality became part of not just Mayo, but of world folklore. But for 30 years in Mayo, there was a more commonly held dream. All through the barren football years, at club matches and in the back kitchens, men and women talked of one day seeing Mayo play with distinction in an All-Ireland football final. Then in September of 1989, that dream became a reality. On the afternoon of Monday, September the 18th, 600 feet up on the County Mayo hill called Boyne Lyra, thousands braved Force 9 winds to make their way to the Connacht Airport terminal. Theirs was a symbolic gesture. Unbothered by the incessant rain, they came to say thanks to the men who had restored pride to County Mayo after 38 unfulfilled years. The day before, Mayo had been beaten in the All-Ireland final by Cork by a 3-point margin. But this was not a welcome home for losers. An estimated 7,000 Mayo supporters were at the airport, and in the 48 hours that followed, tens of thousands more turned out in towns and villages throughout the county to congratulate their heroes. Led by Captain Jimmy Browne and team manager John O'Mahony, they began to file out. And many of them were struggling to hold back the tears.
I'm proud of the team, and I would like to thank the supporters. And all I can say is that there's a lot more to come. It's not going to be easy. There are going to be many battles ahead within Connacht and without Connacht. I hope we've done a lot for the G, and I hope we've done a lot for Connacht football. Well done. Lovely to meet you. Well done. Anything about it? Well done. Hey, Willie Joe. How's it going, Willie Joe Padden?
All the faces, a mixture of disappointment and pride. And as the cheering continued, the memory drifted back to 1950. In 1936, under Captain Seamus O'Malley, Mayo had won their first All-Ireland. Now in 1950, they were seeking a second title. Let's join Micheál O'Hare.
Early morning in Dublin on Sunday, September the 24th, was just another day. Even Croke Park is something of a deserted village, but gradually the scene is changing. Trains from all over pour into the stations. O'Connell Street becomes a steady stream of the passing parade. Fire colours, colours of the match, becomes the cry of the city. Hats for Louth, hats for Mayo. Every county in the country is represented as a throng heads for the ground, and the queues stretch outside the gates. And even here, the enthusiasm becomes obvious. Behind the scenes, there is drama. At the opening of the season, every footballer in Ireland had a hope that he would play in the final. Hundreds were doomed to inevitable disappointment, but after club games, the inter-county tussles, the inter-provincial semi-finals, the Louth and Mayo teams have survived the rocky road to Croke Park. The youth have their moment too, as Kerry and Wexford contest an All-Ireland minor final that sparkled with good football, a contest that augurs well for the football future of these counties. And so to the big game itself, culminating point in the 1950 football championships. Louth, the county which contested the first ever All-Ireland. Simon Dignan, Cavan star of many games, but today the man with the whistle. The photographers and Mayo, pride of the West, intent, like their opponents, on victory. The boys of the Artane band, that ever gay and colourful parade, Mayo with Sean Flanagan proudly leading his men of the West, and Louth led by their captain Tom Conlon, accompanied by a mascot, no doubt the envy of every lad of his age in Croke Park. Kjol vinn og tire, Peladore Louis agus Wio, agus for Browne Slua Harling on Cliher go Park o Croking. Swinging into the center of the field, the scene is truly set. And as the teams face the tricolour, the crowd of over 76,000 stand to attention for the national anthem. Most Reverend Dr. Quinn, Bishop of Kilmore, is escorted to the field, throws in the ball, and the tussle is on. In a matter of seconds, Nicky Rowe, one of the men from RD, had Louth the point in front. But then, after a series of raids and counter-raids, the Mayo men equalized after 8 minutes. Excitement, if not the standard of play, runs high as a minute later, Mayo lead 1-1 to 1 point. The West had gone further ahead before Louth got going. And in a strong bout of pressure, Hubert Reynolds sends to Roger Lynch. But Mayo's Paddy Prendergast punches clear, and as one of their men of the match, Eamon Mongie, adds bite to the clearance, the situation is saved. Mayo's Carney starts a movement, but very wearing Pat McArdle beats him, slits, recovers, and sets Louth attacking, all quicker than you can say. The ball has gone wide. Favoured by a good breeze, Louth tests the Mayo defence repeatedly, but shots are not always as accurate as the kickers would like. John Boyle sets Louth attacking again, but Eamon Mongie breaks it up. Now it's the turn of Pat Markey to set the wheels moving. Such pressure is bound to bring results, and goalkeeper Durkin has no chance as Rowe rockets one into the net. The midfield players and Mayo have their moments, but it's still Louth on top. A point to narrow the gap. This was real excitement. Reynolds sells a dummy, but Durkin saves. But in the 29th minute, the sides were level, 1 goal and 3 points each. Could Mayo's defence hold out? In a flash, the answer came as the Leinstermen forge ahead with another point, and they maintained that narrow lead right up to half-time. In the first half, the football has been scrappy. But with scores even all the way, this was forgotten by most in the tenseness of the situation. It is truly anybody's game as they start the second half. Despite playing against the breeze at this stage, Louth forge further ahead with a point to the delight of their huge following. With the pressure really turned on, Mayo's Sean Wynne makes a dramatic full-length save, and seconds later watches another shot go narrowly wide. Gradually, however, Mayo are settling down, and the forwards take their opportunities. Notably, Mick Flanagan's goal, a death blow to Louth's hopes, but a stimulus to the Mayo lads. Dixon and White race for one near the line. Flanagan sends through. The mighty Tom Langan centres a grand one, but Louth's Jim Tufts clears it, only to find Corey Carney well positioned to renew the western onslaught And Mick Mulderrick snatches it up and sends it high and straight over the bar for Mayo's 5th point. 2 goals and 5 points to 1 goal and 6. A tally which is really the final score. But the game is not over by any means. Here comes the football we had expected. Here are those final thrills. Only 2 points in it and Mayo in front. Louth battle back, but find Joe Gilvary from Killalla's Broad Bay foiling their bid. McDonald clears for Louth. Regan speeds it up after a struggle and sends to Roger Lynch. His dramatic shot for a winning goal has wind beaten, but it is narrowly wide. Louth, with Hubert Reynolds trying hard, struggle on gamely against a team that has found its feet in grand manner. Mayo take up the offensive in winning vein, but find MacDonald a stumbling block. This one looks like a goal, but McByrne gets his toenail to it to save the net. So, with time ticking away and Mayo playing with rediscovered confidence, they maintain their lead. The big heart of the wee county is obvious as Frank Reid and others try to rally. But when the final whistle sounds, Mayo have won their 2nd All-Ireland title by a display of dash and courage that becomes the champion. Yes, the West is certainly awake. Players are cheered and cheered in victory and condoled with in gallant defeat as the crowd storms in from all possible angles. And then eyes turn to the Hogan stand. Mr. McFerrin, a vice president of the GAA, presents the cups to Sean Flanagan of Mayo and Kerry's minor captain, Michael Brosnan. And so, the curtain falls on another chapter of football history.
The following year, Mayo were back in the final. Again, they would face the Leinster champions, on this occasion Meath. So let's join commentator Micheál O'Hare for the story of that game.
And what a glorious scene it is as we look down on the 78,201 people who have come to see the Battle of the M's. M for Mayo, M for Meath. As usual, it is the honour of the youth of the country to provide the curtain raiser as the lads from Armagh and the rivals from Kerry enthrall the crowd with the All-Ireland minor football semi-final. It's a game of keen, close football, devoid of frills, but packed with thrills as the lead changes in startling fashion. The field is cleared as the crowd awaits the coming of the rival senior teams. On the Hogan stand, many personalities of the political, ecclesiastical and diplomatic world view the colourful scene below. Agus níor bhada go dagan an tóchtarán agus Banny Cali. And then the teams themselves, Mayo wearing the white of Connacht and Meath the green of Leinster. To whom will victory go? Can Meath, our football ambassadors to the United States, recover the title they last held in 1949? Or will the Mayo men retain the title they took in 1950? Referee Bill Delaney of Laois tosses the coin. And so to the parade, led by the Artane Boys Band, colourful and part and parcel of the long-established ritual of Croke Park. The men of the West, the lads from Meath. The Most Reverend Dr. Walsh, Archbishop of Tuam, is escorted onto the field by Mr. Seamus McFerrin, the Vice President of the GAA, and introduced to the respective captains. And then, as players and officials face the tricolour, the national anthem is played. And so to the throw-in, and the battle for the 1951 title is on. Mayo break away from the start, but despite their efforts, Meath are the team in the early stages. Playing with great dash and aided by the breeze, they give their followers every hope of victory as Mayo's Joe Staunton and his associates are pressed into repeated action. Flanagan tries to get through for Mayo, but Meade's defence is rock-like. The Leinster team has scored in the opening minute, and here they come, back for more. Once more, the Meade defence stands firm. The ever-active Tom Langan gets the ball in his hand and presses his way through for a goal that does much to put his county on the road to victory. The pace is really hot now, the football close and keen. Tegar a wee o gimbert ní spar am a dacasaw, it's more an yart the big winter no me falls. A strong Meath attack is repelled by Sean Flanagan, whose clearance is picked up by Meade's centre-field man Des Taft, and he makes no mistake. But Mayo returned to the attack, and despite the resistance of Kevin McConnell, Pádraig Kearney, the Mayo man of the match, scores from a free. It's still a Western offensive, but it's without reward at first. Dixon and Mick Flanagan pave the way for Eamon Mongie to score a point. Near the arena gimmert go Dean and Ish, agus Kegel a wee-o come pussig, near Bishakar Mishnach no me falls. These reverses urge the Meade side to further attacks with Matty MacDonald, Brian Smith, and the inevitable man in the cap, Peter McDermott, figuring in the chief actions. But Mayo's full back line, with Paddy Prendergast settling down to his brilliant game, foil the challengers. Brian Smith and Paddy Meagan are in the thick of the fray, as always. And now for the movement that brings Mayo's second goal, as Dixon passes to Sean Mulderrig. He gets the ball through to Joe Gilvary, and he sends through his goal to make the half-time score. Mayo, 2 goals and 3 points. Meath, 8 points. Oh, yes. There was speed and plenty in that first half, but did it rival the dash for freedom, which gave the crowd an interval laugh. But it wasn't long before the serious business was underway again. The second half is on, with the writing on the wall as far as Meath are concerned, but with that undying spirit they refuse to read it, and despite further arrears come battling back. Yes, it's Mayo's day of victory, for playing with greater speed and dash than in any earlier championship tie. They dominate the plucky and always battling Meath men. This looks like a Mick Flanagan goal, but no, it's just barely wide. Here they come again. Flanagan beats Micheál O'Brien, passes to the centre, and he's there to take it himself. Up goes the mighty Paddy O'Brien, and down he goes. But did he fall, or was he pushed? Frankie Byrne tries hard for Meath, and from a free he narrows the gap. Paddy Meagan adds his well-paced kick. But soon, Mayo take up the attack once more for Joe Gilvary, despite the attentions of the back, to send over the bar. It's homeward bound for hundreds now, even before the final whistle. And when this does go, it's a signal for the crowds to surge onto the field to cheer the victors. And while praising the winners, let us not forget the great sportsmen of Meath, defeated yet honoured too. while on the Hogan stand, Mr. Vin Donoghue, a vice president of the GAA, presents the Sam Maguire Cup to Sean Flanagan. And as the crowds look on, the Mayo officials are happy with the smiles of victory.
We move forward from those glory years to June the 25th, 1989, when Mayo's attempt to retain their Connacht championship began. At a windswept stadium in Tuam, they lined out against old rivals Galway. Kevin McStay, back after injury, would be on the field for no more than 5 minutes. And as commentator Ger Canning predicted, the elements would limit good football.
You'll gather it's a very blustery afternoon here in Tuam, and that wind blowing right across the park, really, into the faces of the fans here on this side of the field. I would estimate a crowd around about 13,000 here. Willie Joe Padden battling with Kevin Walsh at midfield. The very tall Walsh playing it forward. This is Michael Gavin. And that's curled in delightfully over the bar. And that wind will howl across towards that side of the field. Gavin keeping it nicely in play to Gay McManus, and it's over the bar. This is a very good start by Galway. Liam McHale. Aidan O'Shea takes it down, receives a very stern challenge, then goes in and seems to retaliate against Noel Durkin, and the referee quickly in to defuse the situation, and a player down on the ground there. An incident that happened behind the referee's back. So a rather unsavoury start here. It was a very hefty knock on Kevin McStay, and he's been helped off over there.
So Mayo went in at half-time trailing by 4 points, and Galway had scored a further 2 points when Mayo began to click, a full 11 minutes into the second half.
Michael Fitzmaurice will be the taker, and Pádraig Brogan has been got ready to come into this match for Mayo. And that's curled over. Fitzmaurice has kicked his third free, Mayo's first point of the second half. Is this the start of the comeback? John Finn. And they've scored a point from it. Neatly into the path there of Anthony Finnerty. High and ambitiously so, and it's curled in and over the bar. 8 points to 5. It was 8 points to 7 2 years ago in the championship. Dermot Flanagan curling it in towards McHale. Touchdown, and it's a goal by Maher. This time it's a short one to Noel Durkin. Pursued by Aidan O'Shea, off balance, he hits it high, sublimely over the crossbar, and Mayo have hit the front for the first time in the match. The confidence is high now, and Mayo lead by 2 points. Liam McHale again. That's a nice point. Picking up the loose pass, and McHale has hit over his first point of the afternoon, and an invaluable one at that. Galway's hopes then hanging by a thread. John Joyce trying to wait for the block of the ball. Tomas Mannion. They need a goal here, Galway. Otherwise they're out of the Connacht Championship. Gay McManus in. Levin, it's a goal! Oh, I don't believe it! It's a goal which has come 2 minutes, or nearly 2 minutes, into injury time. They were absolutely out of it. But Gay McManus has given them a lifeline. We had a lot of wides in this match. We had a lot of passages of broken play. It wasn't a good match by any accounts, but it'll be remembered always for that late goal by Gay McManus. It ends Mayo 1-8, Galway 1-8.
So back they came to Castlebar a fortnight later. After that unconvincing display in Tuam, many Mayo supporters were slow to believe in their team. For the replay, Mayo made 3 changes. John Finn came in for Pat Holmes, Jimmy Burke for the injured Noel Durkin, and Anthony Finnerty replaced Martin Carney. Galway took an early lead after 3 minutes, but inspired by the early form of Willie Joe Padden, Mayo got a fortunate break soon after, and it settled them. Let's join commentator Jim Carney.
Padden and Walsh, the 2 big fielders. Padden wins it well. There's a new spring in Willie Joe Padden's step today. He looks a different man altogether. Anthony Finnerty, well caught by the Mayo man. Has Jimmy Burke to his right, a drive by Anthony Finnerty to Jimmy Burke. What's on here? It's a penalty. Anthony Finnerty with the kick. He nets it. A good goal by Anthony Finnerty. Sean Maher with Dermot Flanagan in support. Dermot Flanagan will play with a lot of determination today. He got a lot of stick for his performance. That was a great crossfield ball to Willie Joe Padden, and he drives it over the bar. It might well have been a goal, but Padden, all the same, will be delighted with the point. Mayo with their tails up now. Liam McHale, so influential. A great ball into Sean Maher on the run. Sean Maher, the chance of the point. That was a very good kick. It was also a very good run by Sean Maher and a very good pass by Liam McHale. In the middle of the field, Damien Tumman for Galway. He's been very quiet in the earlier aerial exchanges, giving best to Padden and Maher. But a chance here for Michael Gavin. A great save by Eugene Lavin. It might still fall for Michael Brennan. To Kevin Walsh. There's only a point. In fact, there isn't even that. It's gone wide. That was a golden chance for Galway. Oh, what a miss that was by Michael Gavin. Michael Fitzmaurice from Mayo. A good ball. Well, the angle suited him really. He was looking up, he judged it nicely, and he got the point. 2 points in it as we come up to half-time. 1-4 for Mayo, 5 points for Galway. Liam McHale down towards Sean Maher. There's a man free to his left if he can find him. Sean Maher looking for the point and driving it over the bar. A good ball by Sean Maher, who has done some very good things in this match, but he's had quiet spells too, and Mayo, the flags aloft again. That Mayo point by Sean Maher coming in 1 minute of time added on. And because there were stoppages and substitutions on both sides, we may have at least 2, if not 3 minutes of extra time in this first half. And the Galway man now will be spoken to, Michael Brennan. I think John Finn is the man who's down. Well, he was down, he's up again. There's a nasty scene developing here in the middle of the field. There's Dermot Flanagan, the Mayo number 6, very upset. John Joyce, the Galway man, there too. And this is really ugly stuff now, and there's absolutely no need for it surely, because the ref was in charge there. We had a lot of controversy in the drawn game. I think Sean Maher may be off the field here, and I think Michael Brennan has been sent off too. And it's half-time in McHale Park, where Mayo lead by 1-5 to Galway's 5 points. Just a goal in it. A match that started.
That 3-point advantage was whittled down by Galway to just 1 point early in the second half, but then they couldn't score for 16 minutes as Mayo took over.
Frank Noone looking for the point. That looks a very good one by Frank Noone. Oh, that's glorious football by Frank Noone. Michael Fitzmaurice failed from freeze, but he didn't fail from play in the first half when he got one very vital point, and now he's got another one, and that too could be vital. Jimmy Browne, the Mayo captain, has had a much better game today. To Anthony Finnerty. You just feel now that Mayo are on fire at last, and that they're beginning to put a few moves together. Anthony Finnerty to Kevin McStay. He could crown this with a nice point. That's a great ball by Kevin McStay. And that's a score that raises the cheer of the day. TJ Kilgallen providing the leadership that Mayo so badly need, but they're all failing their inability to punch things home. Well, as I speak, Liam McHale drives it low into the net. Ray Dempsey. Jimmy Burke. Trying the sharp angle. Well, it's flagged. It's flagged as a point. There are a lot of people in McHale Park who wouldn't bet on that one being a point, but it's gone up on the board anyway. Mayo seem to have this one well covered. Liam McHale in there, but it breaks to Tomas Mannion, trying for the goal, but too many bodies clothed in green and red. Aidan O'Shea, however, to win it back for Galway. And well caught in there by Dermot Flanagan. And Mayo supporters will take Dermot to their hearts again after being quite critical really about his performance the last day. But Dermot, a good pro in the old-fashioned sense, and there's always a good display to follow an indifferent man. Jimmy Burke, another old pro from Mayo. Rounding Michael Gavin with ease, giving it to Michael Fitzmaurice. Mayo would like to crown this with the score, and they do. Fitzmaurice, the man who got it. Ray Dempsey in support. Gives it to Anthony Finnerty. To Frank Noone. He'll try for the point, Frank Noone. That's a nice one. A great point by Frank Noone. Ignore that number 5. They'll know in Hollymount that he can play in the forwards and kick points like that. Mayo are heading now to the Connacht final, which incidentally will be played in Castlebar. And that's a prospect to look forward to, because it's all but over here. Though Dermot Flanagan will cherish the memory of that one, and he's calm and composed about it.
So Mayo ran out winners by 2-13 to 1-8. But many of their supporters weren't at all convinced by the performance. Some of the commentators were quite scathing. One journalist wrote how the game made great holes in Connacht football credibility as a potent force with genuine All-Ireland ambition. But despite the doubters, Mayo were through to the Connacht final. They would meet Roscommon, who had coasted past Sligo in their semi-final meeting. Once more, the commentator is Jim Carney.
Junior McManus, beaten to it, however, by Aidan Lavin. Lavin, a great GA name in Sligo, down through the decades. Not such a good delivery, however. Put out by Seamus O'Malley, looking for Paul Early and Tony McManus. The twin threat in the Roscommon full forward line. A great ball by Tony McManus into Junior McManus. Can he find Michael Donlan to the right? Junior McManus will perhaps try to finish this one himself. He does! A good run by Tony McManus. To Paul Early. Drives it, Paul Early, to the top of the net. In the middle of the field, Paul Hickey for Roscommon. A good ball in towards Tony McManus. Can he get first one on it? Can he drive it? Yes, he can. Tony McManus.
Is it fair to suggest that while you have a very good panel and a football-mad county, that the real question mark about Mayo is whether they have the character, whether they have the spirit in them to do well, to win a Connacht final and to go further?
Well, I think we have proved that we had the character last year by winning it. This year is a totally different ball game. I have every confidence and I passionately believe in this team. You know, what other people think or what outsiders or supporters think, I'm not really that interested in it, to be honest. I think they're an excellent team, very committed, and I think that we're going to be there or thereabouts on Sunday, and hopefully we'll be on the right side of the result.
It's difficult, all right, Tommy, to sort of measure up to the successes, I suppose, of the 50-51 team. I suppose we're always being compared to them, and it puts an added pressure on us to perform and to win each time the championship comes around.
And so on July the 23rd, Roscommon travelled to Castlebar for their 21st Connacht final meeting with Mayo. Although Mayo had home advantage in McHale Park, they had never beaten Roscommon in a Connacht decider at this venue. Mayo made a number of changes. They recalled an old Durkin in place of Michael John Mullen. And in a late change, 24-year-old Gabriel Irwin replaced injured goalkeeper Eugene Lavin. On a perfect summer's day, two committed teams produced a match that would prove exciting to the final whistle. We join Marty Morrissey.
Vincent Glennon, Lanesborough, County Roscommon, sending it in towards Paul Early, dropped down to Tony McManus, and there's the first score after just 52 seconds of play in the Connacht final. curly-haired man from Waigona, sweeping it across to his colleague in the full forward line, Kevin McStay. And basketball-styled, controls it well, despite being held there by Des Newton. A free for Mayo, and immediately referee Mickey Kearns having a word with the left corner back on the Roscommon side. This is Michael Fitzmaurice with the effort, and it's successful. Good score. The sides are level in Castlebar. This is Vincent Glennon with his second attempt, and this time it's very successful as Roscommon take the lead here in Castlebar. Dermot Flanagan, experience so vital in a Connacht final, and he shows just how valuable the experience is when he slots that one over Gay Sheeran's crossbar. Well gathered by Jimmy Browne, the captain of the Mayo side, hoping to lead his side to another Connacht Championship title. Liam McHale, the crowd respond every time this tall man gathers the ball. This is Kevin McStay, trying to get past Des Newton. Still McStay, showing lovely skill. Has he the accuracy? He certainly has. A fine effort by the man from Ballina. Joey Connaughton getting it up for his Paul early, but a little bit of space. He's looking for support. It comes in the form of Vincent Glennon. He's straight through. Can he finish it off? Yes! Oh, superb score by Vincent Glennon. The young man from Lanesborough, a student in Maynooth, has put Roscommon ahead. The break comes down to the Roscommon man. It's Donald Brady from Elfen, giving it inside to Michael Donlan. Joining him is Dennis Carney. Donlan sending one in to Paul early, and a fine effort indeed over the crossbar, and once again the white flag has been raised for Roscommon. A fine kick out by Gabriel Irwin, knocked down to Michael Fitzmaurice. Swinging play over towards Anthony Finnerty, looking for a colleague, and he finds him. Fine ball indeed to Noel Durkin, and that's a good score. Frank Noone with the sideline ball, gives it to number 5, Jimmy Burke. Unfairly challenged possibly, but Mickey Kearns waves play on. Comes back to Michael Fitzmaurice. It's high. It could well reach the ozone there, but it has certainly reached the crossbar and over it. A fine point for Mayo. A right hold battle going on between these two fine players. This is John Finn from Mayo Gales. Willie Joe Padden, added to and given to Kevin McStay. Giving it inside, back to Padden. This is looking good for Mayo. Still Padden, and over the bar. The sides are level. So with just 5 minutes left in the match, at least in the first half, here's Michael Fitzmaurice with an attempt to put his name on the scoreboard for the third time and put Mayo ahead, and he's done it. Good score for Michael Fitzmaurice, the man from Lacken. So the question is very simple. Can Mayo win their 33rd Connacht final and championship title here in McHale Park? Corrick McNeil, his side trailing by 1 point. Michael Donlan. Paul Early outside. Comes instead to Donald Brady with the equaliser after just 21 seconds of play in the second half. This is Noel Durkin to Willie Joe Padden with a splendid point. Mayo go back in front, and Mayo now going to bring in TJ Kilgallen, obviously fully recovered, as Tony McManus tries to open up a gap in the Mayo defence. Unsuccessful on this occasion. Maybe Seamus O'Malley can do it. He certainly can. A lovely score. Break comes to Kevin McStay, to Liam McHale. Willie Joe Padden calling for it. Still McHale. Now Willie Joe has it, or has he? Well tackled indeed by Johnny Dowd. As Michael Fitzmaurice from Lacken going for point number 4. And Mayo's number 9. Mayo 9 points, Roscommon 1-5. Well gathered indeed by Seamus O'Malley. onto John Newton. This is Joey Connaughton. Good ball inside towards Tony McManus. Still Tony McManus, the Clonagale man. Levels the match in McHale Park, Castlebar. The man from Elphin, Seamus O'Malley, sending it in towards Paul Early. This is Tony McManus, trying to get room to swing a boot. Gabriel Irwin is there, gives it out to Micheál Collins. And Micheál is certainly finding touch here at this side, but great pressure on the Mayo goal ball. This is Tony McManus bursting his way through. Jimmy Browne right beside him. Gabriel Irwin bravely going down on it and eventually getting it out. And back in the action we have a point for Roscommon, which puts them a little bit in front. So Michael Fitzmaurice, all Mayo eyes looking on him as he sends it over the bar. Paul Early getting there, looking for Eamon McManus Jr. Paul Hickey in support, so too is Seamus O'Malley. And Kilgallen has swung it beautifully over the bar. That's a magnificent point. Vincent Glennon trying to make it 1-9. Hits off the post and superbly over the bar. Roscommon lead by 2 points. And there's the Mayo manager, John O'Mahony. He's just after introducing Martin Carney for Sean Maher.
Sean Maher on the road team.
Michael Fitzmaurice. They make it just 1 point between the sides. Yes, he can. So Kevin McStay with a point already to his credit. Will he be satisfied to put this one over the bar? And level matters in McHale Park. He drops one in, it curls out to this side. Underneath it is Jimmy Burke to TJ Kilgallen. He looks and he puts it beautifully over the bar. The sides are level and the green and red flags in McHale Park swiftly move in the warm winter wind, warm summer wind here at McHale Park. This is Michael Donlan. Back to Tony McManus. Referee allows advantage, gives it back to Donald Brady. Getting it into us, Paul Early. And he's got it. Can he get it out? He can. This is Vincent Glennon. Can he get room to swing that boot? Into Paul Early. Oh, a great save. A marvellous save by Gabriel Irwin. But they could be building you a monument in Castlebar yet tonight, Gabriel. A fine save that keeps Mayo in this Connacht Championship. The referee blows the final whistle and the sides are level after 70 minutes. Roscommon 1-9, Mayo 12 points, but may I say that it really is. It would have been a pity if either side had lost. A great Connacht final certainly will enhance the reputation of the Connacht Championship, but the sides are level. The scoreline again, the Connacht final of 1989, Roscommon 1-9, Mayo 12 points.
As Marty suggested, that really was a great game. But now the pressure was back on John O'Mahony and his players, who would concede home advantage to Roscommon in the replay. The last time Mayo had managed to retain their Connacht title was back in 50-51, the years they won consecutive All-Irelands. And now the question, would history help or hinder them?
Football is really like religion in this county here. There's a lot expected of Mayo teams. There's a very good tradition going back right through the 30s, the 40s and the 50s. And since then there hasn't been that much achieved. And it probably gets harder as the years go by. There's more and more expected. I think it's a case of the people getting more frustrated. And they put a certain amount of pressure on the teams. We don't seem to do well as we would like because of that, I think. I don't agree for a moment that we don't have spirit. I think we have a very committed group of lads who give it their best, and I don't agree for a minute with anybody who said that we lack battle. Certainly it wouldn't be my idea of Mayo football at all.
Have you got the killer instinct?
Well, I would like to think that we would. Perhaps I cannot give you a clear-cut example to show it as such. We've often maybe pulled 2 or 3 points ahead of a team, but not really put them away as such. But we did do that with Galway in the replay. when we got 3 points up or 6 points up, we continued. So maybe on Sunday we can show that.
A confident TJ Kilgallen and Ray Dempsey replaced Dennis Carney and Anthony Finnerty in Mayo's starting lineup. This game was going to be another cracker. Let's join commentator Ger Canning with the side scoreless early during the first half.
They picked up a leg injury during the week when playing in the Army Football Championships. He's the free taker from the left-hand side to suit a right-footed kicker. And a flawless finish, the opening score. Mayo with their very first attack produce a score from Kevin McStay. Fisted down by Newton, but no great method or direction for Roscommon. Plenty of honest endeavour, but they need to string their passes a bit more carefully together. This looks promising. Paul Early, a quick look up at the target. To score they need badly, and they get one. Paul Early finally breaches the en-passe. 12 minutes gone in the first half. Gary Wynn. TJ Kilgallen under it, drops down to John Finn. Interesting that Mayo are opting to kick that ball as long as possible from midfield rather than play a shorter football. Here's Maher. It's another good illustration of that as Des Newton's in trouble. Willie Joe Padden seemed to be tripped. Referee allowed an advantage and it comes off and Mayo go back in front. Donald Brady towards Paul Early. Roscommon looking for an equalising score. And the referee is going in, and I wonder what the signal is. Could it be a penalty? I think it is. It's a penalty. That's an interesting decision. Was he held as that ball came across? Peter Ford jumping with Early. Was there a little nudge? The fullback was there first. I'll say I didn't really see anything. Perhaps he was held there, yes. Tony McManus is going to be the taker of the penalty. Slotting it away with consummate ease. Taken by Liam McHale. Ball inside to Ray Dempsey with Matthew Riley. Still Dempsey, the 19-year-old. Frank Noone in an advanced spot right on the end line. Durkin, brilliant goal! Oh, a super goal by Noel Durkin. Just 4 minutes after the Roscommon penalty goal. Dempsey fed it inside to Frank Noone. Look where the number 5 was. Lovely flick back. And watch for Durkin coming in at around 50 miles an hour and a crashing drive to the back of the net. That was a really fine score. Nearly 28 minutes gone. Vincent Glennon, a chance to put over his first free, having missed an earlier one. And this time it's a perfect finish. John Finn is up there once again. Jimmy Burke losing the full-back. McDowd gets goal side. Holds up his progress. Here's McHale. And it's over the bar from Liam McHale. Donlan, who was wing-back in last year's decider. To Tony McManus. On the left boot. That looks a nice one. It's well judged. A goal and a point now for Tony McManus. So a chance for Michael Fitzmaurice with 6 points last week, 5 of those from frees to get his first this afternoon. And that curls in brilliantly. TJ Kilgallen back in the Mayo colours following a lengthy layoff through injury. Des Newton picking out Junior McManus. Here's Tony McManus back in for Junior, his cousin and clubmate. Good run forward. The support is from Paul Early. And that's a fine start to the second half by Paul Early. Kilgallen towards Willie Joe Padden. Such great understanding between the tall players down the centre. They've been the architects of much of their success so far. Michael Fitzmaurice, former captain of the Mayo minor team. All-Ireland winners in 1985. Left-footed kick once again. And the sides on level terms. This should be an easy one for Kevin McStay, as he bids to give Mayo the lead once more. Deep intake of breath. In front of around 17,000 fans. That's the case. Mayo 1-6, Roscommon 1-5. McStay can put 2 points between the teams. 14 minutes into the second half if he slots this one over. A bit further out than the last one he hit. Kept in play, however. Down to Jimmy Burke. And that's over. TJ Kilgallen drops it to Paul Early. Roscommon needing a score badly. Tony McManus. Oh, that's a good one. An injury to a Mayo player. Frank Noone, I think, is the one. Frank, who brilliantly set up the goal for Noel Durkin in the first half, in considerable distress. Frank, not a player who feigns injury like this. Runs an outdoor pursuit centre here in County Mayo. John O'Mahony, along with the team doctor there. And this is the incident again that led to that. He stumbled as he was pushed by Vincent Glennon. Went down rather awkwardly. And Michael Fitzmaurice and Willie Joe Padden, together with the team official, Tom Riley there as well, helping Frank Noone off. And Micheál Collins is the one who's going to replace him. Brady's free. Kilgallen well in place. Nice fetch by Liam McHale, a real delightful player to watch. Held up by Des Newton. Quite a blatant foul that time by Des Newton. And Michael Fitzmaurice can penalise that indiscretion and put 2 points between the sides again. Well, he's brought free-taking to a very fine state-of-the-art, a very reliable place kicker. John Finn. Down to Jimmy Burke. Great catch ahead of the fullback. This is Finnerty, just on as a sub. And he takes the point sensibly. The fullback, full forward rather, did so much to engineer that score. So Roscommon then, with 9 minutes remaining, and they have to peg back a 3-point difference. Level at half-time. Here's Dury, losing it rather easily, and a punch there straight into the arms that time of Micheál Collins. Dury, I seem to recall, was involved in an incident in last year's Connacht final against Jimmy Burke. They're ahead of Dermot Flanagan. Losing the ball then. And watch for the punch into the arm of Micheál Collins, quite uncompromising the point. Here's Willie Joe Padden, and it's over the bar at the other end. 1-10 for Mayo, 1-6 for Roscommon. Willie Joe Padden's second point of the afternoon. Mayo fans now enjoying the second half. Frank Noone is the one who's been stretchered off. I can recall in last year's final, a Roscommon forward was stretchered off, Tom Lennon. Let's hope it's not a serious injury. Well, some of the others have taken frees without much success, so Vincent Glennon once again takes over responsibility. He's got one for the afternoon so far. His team trail by 4. Well, under pressure he's done well. That's 1-7 now for Roscommon, 1-10 for Mayo, and Glennon's second point comes with 6 minutes to go. Here's Liam McHale looking up. Here's McStay. He's down injured a little while ago. That drops down from the clouds, and it's a lovely kick. McHale's second point. That might well seal it now for the champions. Mayo bidding to retain the title for the first time in 38 years. Roscommon with 2.5 minutes to go on my watch, although there may be some time added on. 4 points the difference. Glennon, I'm sure, will try to tap this one over. Just a goal between the teams, and remember, there would be extra time if the sides finish level. So it's 111 to 19, 2 points between the teams. Here's Riley. Roscommon know what they have to do. In whatever time the referee allows to continue, they've got to get a goal. Des Newton. John Newton, his brother. It's on perhaps for Martin and Burley. Tony McManus pulled down, a penalty surely. The referee's gone in, but he hasn't blown the whistle. I thought that was a penalty, I must say. Junior McManus, it's a free. Well, the referee is really going to be in the centre of the action once again. I must say, I thought that was a penalty. Just like last weekend, the referee gave a penalty earlier on. What's the outcome? It is a penalty. What a dramatic finale now we've got. This was the incident. A lovely build-up with Paul early involved. Spotting, slack marking. And Tony McManus, I have no hesitation, that was a penalty. Tony McManus, can he win this one for Roscommon? He's put it away! A second penalty goal by Tony McManus, 2 minutes into injury time, and the Roscommon fans can scarcely believe it. That was dispatched with ease beyond Gabriel Irwin. It's 2-9 to 111. So now it's up to Mayo to respond, needing a score, and the referee's whistle is sounded as Micheál Collins rattles the back of the net, but there's no advantage allowed. Mayo, who trail by a point, have themselves a free, and I think it would be no more than they deserve were they to at least get a draw from this and take the match into extra time. Fitzmaurice, and that's the equaliser, and the referee blows the whistle and the match goes to a half an hour of extra time. Newton again, superb one-handed ahead of Sean Maher. Maher did an awful lot of good work in the 70 minutes, looks to be tiring a little. Junior McManus, and that's well directed. This is John Newton. Now, can he finish a little better than the last couple of attacks? Yes is the answer. And Roscommon lead by 2 points. Plenty of movement ahead of Dermot Flanagan. Willie Joe Padden beaten by Porrick McNeil, who's done really well at centre half back. Newton almost invited into overholding. Liam McHale drifting away, head up, looking for support inside, going it on his own, off the post and over. Liam McHale. Here's Connaughton, the ball carrier. Brady is there to receive the pass. Tony McManus. And another neat strike by Tony McManus. Now the scorer of 2 goals and 3 points. A fine return in this, the anniversary Connacht final of the 21st involving Mayo and Roscommon. Junior McManus. Peter forward. It's run on to Tony McManus. And he's put it over the crossbar. 2 goals and 4 points now for the player who was injured as he was going through on that occasion. A nice score. It's quite a battle. And whoever wins the Connacht title is going to have it well earned. Run forward by Brian Kilkelly. Can he make a difference? Into Willie Joe Padden. Finnerty. It's a goal by Anthony Finnerty. Just what Mayo required. Kilkelly supplied the ammunition. Padden was there as well. It broke to Finnerty. He was being held, but he persisted, and that persistence paid off. And now Mayo have something to cheer about. The sides level again. So both sides then looking for that invaluable last score. Seamus O'Malley overcarries, turns towards the free to Mayo, which Kilgallen takes. towards Willie Joe Padden. It breaks down to Michael Fitzmaurice. Can he get the winner here? It's high, comes down, it's over the bar! Michael Fitzmaurice with his first point from play, his fifth of the afternoon, may well have sealed Mayo's Connacht Championship victory. Roscommon then with their never say die approach, and John Newton launching what might well be a last attack. That's Kilgallen towards Tony McManus. Mayo, I'm sure, with still thoughts of that goal that McManus got from a penalty near the very end of normal time. Sealing the route to goal. Brian Kilkelly ambitiously down to Finity, who can finish it off now here. This is McHale. That's Jimmy Burke. Oh, he's missed it. And it somehow goes over the goal. It's almost been the story of the afternoon. With Jimmy Burke's rugged persistence, Mayo get themselves a third goal for the afternoon. Fetched beautifully by Finity, added to McHale. Roscommon were weary and tired at the back. Burke was going in, advancing, and finally it somehow crept over the line. And Mayo have retained the title. It may have taken a replay and extra time to do so, but it's the first time in 38 years that a Mayo side has retained the cup. Final score, Mayo 3-14, Roscommon 2-13.
At home in Ballahadreen, the O'Mahony household was now taken up with thoughts of the All-Ireland semi-final against Tyrone. Mayo were going into the match as underdogs.
I don't think we have peaked at all yet, because as I said to you earlier, we haven't played as well as we can play. What will stand to us is the fact that we have never really put the heads down, even when things were going against us. And I think this will be a vital asset when we get into Croke Park as well, and that the extra games will stand to us.
In Belmullet, there was only one topic of conversation: football. Erris now had two members in the team: goalkeeper Gabriel Irwin and, of course, Willie Joe Padden. How about this reputation you have? Your team captain, Jimmy Browne, was telling me that you're called the Ian Botham of Mayo.
Well, some of the boys call me that, all right, yeah. I don't think, maybe there's a slight resemblance, yeah, but his paychecks didn't get mixed up with mine yet, anyhow.
Well, if you win in All-Ireland, will you be going into politics? Would that be the natural progression for you?
I'll tell you, Tommy, when I win the All-Ireland, I'll sit back, I'll relax, I'll enjoy it, and then I'll decide after that what's the best thing to do.
That sounds like a politician's answer there.
You never know.
So the referee making sure that everything is just right. So many good players in action here this afternoon. Let's hope it'll be a splendid semi-final. Kieran Kerr in action straight away there with Sean Maher. Liam McHale slipping on the slippery top surface. Gabriel Irwin. Kerr comfortably under it. John Finn getting there as well. Getting it back from John McGoldrick. That's outside to Damien O'Hagan. Flighting this one in towards Stephen Conway. John Finn, and the referee saw a nudge that time by Jimmy Browne, the Mayo captain, on Stephen Conway, the man they called Scotchy, and this should be a shooting chance. This his opening opportunity today. 113 he's contributed so far in the campaign. And this is fifth match. Tyrone have taken the lead. A free by Stephen Conway.
Seamus O'Malley has had a good start to this game. They say referees in Gaelic games need eyes in the back of the head. Well, today Seamus has seen a few things that few others at Croke Park have seen, and he's been right on each occasion. Well done, Seamus.
Harry McClure here. Good dummy, rounding Noel Durkin. The high lead by Stephen Conway, twisted away by Jimmy Browne. Damien O'Hagan regrouping well. This is Kevin McCabe, so often a match winner in the past. Wing back the last time they played here in the semi-final. O'Hagan trying to go around Sean Maher. Referee says play on. This is McClure trying to knock one in high, blocked down by Maher. McHale here, turning, looking up, spotting Willie Joe Padden. stealing away, getting an inch or two ahead of Enda Kilpatrick. That's Jimmy Burke, first touch. A strong and resourceful full forward is taken down by Plunkett Donaghy, about 35 metres out to the right of the posts. So Jimmy Burke then waiting inside, and it's going to be Michael Fitzmaurice from Lacken who will bid to tie up the scores here. 20 points he's contributed so far in the championship. All of that, of course, in the Connacht campaign. And in this All-Ireland semi-final, he's done the needful, a point apiece. Both of the points coming from the place kickers, Stephen Conway of Tyrone and Michael Fitzmaurice of Mayo. Breaks down to Durkin from that midfield. To Finnerty. Dermot Flanagan advanced. Punting it forward. That's Willie Joe Padden. Nice spring in his step as he tries to play it inside to Burke. Good combination. Jimmy Burke looking for some leeway, and he's put it wide. The best move of the match so far. I wonder to what extent this semi-final will be determined by the ability of the place kickers. Taken short by Conway, and the return from John McGoldrick. This is Plunkett Donaghy running it towards TJ Kilgallen. Striving not to commit the foul. Belted away by Jimmy Browne. Willie Joe Padden galloping out there about 45 metres high, challenged by McClure round the neck. And the referee with the arm raised, signalling the foul to Willie Joe Padden. This is McHale advancing menacingly. Kicking and putting it over the bar, and Mayo go in front for the first time in the match. First point from play as well, and the man from whom so much is expected, Liam McHale, the basketball international, giving them the lead. McConnell's kick out from the 20 metres towards Plunkett Donaghy. John Finn gathering, however. Mayo sensing now that they can maybe take this fight forward in these few minutes of this match and get some more scores, vital scores maybe at the end. Fitzmaurice, good darting run to Finnerty, tight around Sean Donnelly. Defenders there, however. Raymond Monroe, not a good clearance. That's Fitzmaurice backing up dangerously, and it's McGoldrick away on the far side. That could have gone just about anywhere to a congested midfield. It's congested with the green and the red. McHale here. Dermot Flanagan, look where he is, the corner back. And that's his third point in the championship. 2 in Connacht and now 1 in the All-Ireland semi-final. Well, the son of Sean Flanagan, who figured in Mayo's sides, who put back-to-back championships in 50 and 51, and he's done it as well.
Kevin McCabe moved from right corner forward to a deep left half forward. Flanagan went with a man-to-man marking, and it was counterproductive for Tyrone because Flanagan was able to take the point. So far from suiting Tyrone, was a Mayo ball all the way down.
McClure, that's a dangerous one. Could have gone anywhere from Gabriel Irwin. John Finn, delighted to see that one come his way. That was a most unusual pass inside, and not the most confident of punches away. Stephen Conway. First time he's facing a Mayo team in his football career this afternoon. Sideline ball. Dangerous. Irwin, and there was some cushion. Irwin, who really hasn't put a foot wrong in the 2 championship matches he's played so far. Irwin's kick out, an interesting one, because Maher made a run. It was a low enough kick out, but well read by Maher. That's Sean Donnelly, brilliant defending, ahead of Finnerty. Plunkett Donaghy. This is John McGoldrick once again, the player who played in that last pass intended for Kieran Cork. This time, Eugene McKenna breaking it down to Damien O'Hagan. Oh, good save! Not out of danger yet, McCabe. Off balance to Conway. So a second attack by Tyrone in this one movement. Can it finally yield a score? McCabe under it. They're going the long way around it, but it finally comes off, and that's Micheál Collins. Nice little flick on by Scotchy Conway to Cork. McKenna, O'Hagan, having difficulty taking it out. The shot by Damien O'Hagan is flawless, and a second Tyrone point. 3 points to 2. That's fisted down by Harry McClure. No clean possession, as Jimmy McGee was saying earlier. But here it's Shawnee Myler. Good save by Irwin. Myler still persisting. But McHale is back there once again, acting as a sweeper. But that was a fine piece of goalkeeping. The second good save made by the Glenamoy man, Gabriel Irwin. Just when Tyrone thought that they might be able to steal into a lead situation, but this shot by Shawnee Myler, he was denied, however, by splendid reflexes. The referee having a quick word there with Stephen Conway. Not quite sure what they're chatting about. This can be the equaliser. It's a good situation, and Conway should put this one over. Doing precisely that, as the flags will indicate in the background, the Tyrone fans, the red and white, cheering Stephen Conway's kick, and it's 3 points each. Inside the last 4 minutes of the half now. Mayo very much old stages at this stage of the All-Ireland campaign. Their 34th semi-final today, under pressure. Conway, off the legs of Maher. Dermot Flanagan back there. High clearance, breaking a hole in the ozone layer as it comes down towards Willie Joe Padden. Cork is under it as well. Fouled in possession. And a free to Tyrone, the referee explaining why. Tyrone are ahead for the second time in the first half, thanks to Stephen Conway. So 4 points to 3. A real seesaw semi-final so far. Standard not particularly high, but if you're a Tyrone or Mayo fan, you're finding it a gripping, intense match, I'm sure. This is Micheál Collins. Played much of his football at inter-county level at full-back. Durkin, hopefully inside towards Finnerty. Good catch by Anthony Finnerty. Trying to wrestle that ball free, and he's won a free in. And this can tie up the scores now. Michael Fitzmaurice with one pointed free so far, that in the first half. This in the second half, and it's 4 points apiece. This can put Mayo ahead. The second free of the second half, pointed at that. 3 in all, and it's 5 points to 4. So Mayo snatching back the lead once again, thanks to Fitzmaurice's accuracy. 8 minutes into the second half, and it's Mayo 5 points, Tyrone 4. Mayo bidding to reach the All-Ireland final for the first time since 1951. In fact, that was their last semi-final win here at Croke Park as well. They beat Kerry that year after a replay. Kilgallen belting it forward. Nice catch. Breaks down to Willie Joe Padden. Outside to Anthony Finnerty, now seems to be operating, well, still atop of the left, but moving away from that position. That's McHale. Inside to Sean Maher. That's on its way. Straight as a die. Sean Maher with his first point of the afternoon. A goal and 3 points has contributed so far in the championship, and he opens up a 2-point gap between the teams. As Peter Ford, who's an amateur boxing enthusiast, so much sporting connections in the semi-final, kicking that one out, but only as far as Joey Mallon. Trying to get around Michael Fitzmaurice. The hopeful punt forward. O'Hagan away from the goal to fist it down. And that's high, and it's over the bar. And it's Harry McClure who's kicked it. McClure did that. A bit of a speciality really with Harry McClure. He did that superbly in the Ulster Championship. Loves to go across, join the attack when the ball is coming in from the opposite wing, just in case it fist away towards him. Conway with 3 points from frees. Fitzmaurice with 3 from frees. Conway steals ahead in the scoreline in the individual battle, but in the team battle it's 6 points each. All his 4 points coming from frees, and the fans across on that far side enjoying the semi-final now. Joey Mallon there, John Lynch in the background, Noel McGinn as well, part of a strong Tyrone backroom team. This is Cork, having switched wings. Tyrone Cork advancing. Peter Ford doing well, but only as far as O'Hagan. Off the post, back again. It's a goal! A goal by Eugene McKenna. A goal by Eugene McKenna. A goal that was predicted just a few minutes ago. And Eugene McKenna is the one who has broken the deadlock for Tyrone at a vital time, 13 minutes into the second half. Tyrone fans rejoicing. This attack by Kieran Corr was fed inside to Eugene McKenna. Watch as the ball came back off the post, and McKenna was there to apply the finish.
Number 35 for Mayo, So the announcement made in the background about Greg Maher having just come in. Fine underage start just a couple of years ago, but really yet to establish him in the senior team. And Sean Maher, his brother, seems to be the one who's made way for him. Meanwhile, around 45 metres out from the Tyrone goal, the referee going in there and calling for attention. This is what happened. Watch for the number 11. And obviously colliding with a boot as he went down to take up that pick-up. Just under 15 minutes remaining. Tyrone ahead 1-6 to 6 points. Fitzmaurice's kick. Deep. Oh! Went over the crossbar. But the goalkeeper was in trouble, no question about it. Fitzmaurice will take the credit, I'm sure. His fourth pointed free. So two between them. But that was an interesting kick. It dropped rather slack. McHale once again in full flight, soloing forward. Durkin looking for a high challenge, cops a high one that time. Was it a fair shoulder to shoulder? The referee says no, indicting the number 7 there, Joey Mallon. No name taken. The referee did not see it as dangerous play, clearly. An unfair challenge, however, seems to be the outcome. Watch it once again. Durkin going in there, high on Joey Mallon. Willie Joe Padden back with the latest style in hair gear. Fitzmaurice can cut the leeway back to just a solitary point here. He's done that. That's Mayo's 8 points. 5 of those points coming from Fitzmaurice. A day for strong nerves and strong hearts at this stage. Well gathered by the goalkeeper Gabriel Irwin. Micheál Collins hasn't put a foot wrong at right half back. That's Kevin McStay. Remember, just a point between them. Tyrone hanging on to their 1-point lead. McStay again. An over-elaborate build-up. Now can it end with a score? What a good build-up this is. McStay. Oh, great save at the end by McConnell. Goalkeeper Finbar McConnell doing extremely well to get down and gather that one. About 6 players involved in the build-up. McStay very much involved, getting that from the other McHale. And when he went inside the cover there of John McGoldrick, the shot was low, rasping and stinging, and the goalkeeper did exceedingly well. Liam McHale who got a goal, might have got a second goal indeed in last year's semi-final against Mayo. Against Meath, rather. Fitzmaurice to take the 45. Noel Durkin looking for the equaliser. And it's there. Sides on level terms with 8 minutes remaining. Noel Durkin's first point. The name of the game at this stage would be survival and not making critical mistakes. McStay into the path of Noel Durkin. Trying to go round John McGoldrick. A lazily struck pass outside. That seems to be Dermot Flanagan. No, it's not. It's Kilkelly. And it's gone over the bar. It's Brian Kilkelly who puts Mayo into a 1-point lead. His first point of the match. 10 points to 1-6. That's 10 points to 9. What a vital point that would be. He was the player who set up the Anthony Finnerty goal in the Mayo final replay, I seem to recall, just, what was it, 2 weeks ago.
2 things I think may inspire Mayo now. The return after stitching of Willie Joe Padden and the brilliant goalkeeping by Gabriel Irwin.
Here's McStay. Steadying himself. Oh, doing well. From the tightest of angles. Not leaving too much margin for error. But Kevin McStay has got his first point of the afternoon. The forwards beginning to shine. Tyrone having to bridge a 2-point deficit. Mallon takes the free rashly. It comes to Liam McHale. He'll hold it up now, about 50 metres out from his own goal, belting it down towards Jimmy Burke. Hasn't been too much in the action, but if he can hold it up now, that'll be enough. This is Fitzmaurice. There's players in support. Fitzmaurice going it alone. His confidence high, and he's put it over the bar. 6 points for Michael Fitzmaurice. That's the first from play. He's a real hero now, with 3 points between the teams. Over a minute of injury time gone. The trainer was on, but it's now at the discretion of the referee, Seamus Aldrich. Tyrone know what they must do. Score a goal, probably from this attack. This is John Finn going across to cover any would-be gaps. Taking it around Kieran Core. It's all over! A red letter day from Mayo, or better still, a red and green letter day as the Connacht champions defeat Tyrone and reach their first All-Ireland final for 38 years. The final scoreline as the fans come in to salute the Mayo heroes on a day of history was Mayo 12 points, Tyrone 1-6. Strength, mobility, talent in key positions contributed to that scoreline there, plus an enormous amount of will to win. That proved decisive in the end. Celebrations beginning already.
Like spring bringing out flowers, thoughts of the All-Ireland final set Mayo blooming. Each new day brought one more expression of red and green fever. The 38-year-old absence from Croke Park was about to end. The living legends of Mayo GAA were proud as punch.
Even at the establishment of the GAA, we had P.W. Nally of Ballou, one of the prime movers in that establishment. And I suppose he was a great athlete as well. And I suppose the love for him and the love for the game grew and kept growing. Then the Stephenites came around. They became a powerful club team in Ballina and represented the county on many occasions. And all the people usually flock to see wherever we were playing.
I don't want in any way to put pressure on these young fellas. I'm very proud of them. Win or lose, I'll still be very proud of them. They've already done a great deal for football in the county, and indeed the Connacht final did an awful lot of good for football in Roscommon as well as in Mayo. It was a great credit to both sides, both matches. And, you know, it's great to have hope revived, and that's where interest revives by people, by followers and so forth. And let's hope it's the beginning of a new era for football in Connacht in general. And we won't have to read these words of,
right.
Well, vilification from outside and dirges from inside.
Away from the team sessions, the different members of the Mayo panel continued their private pursuit of peak fitness. Kevin McStay and Liam McHale could be found in the gymnasium of Ballina's Downhill Hotel.
I've tasted the low points as well in my career. I've tasted some of the good points, beating Tyrone, getting to the final, 85, had a good year then as well. So I know what it means to win a semi-final. I can only imagine what it means to win a final. And for me personally, it's going to mean everything has been worthwhile. That all the hours and the mileage put in coming from Dublin and what have you is worth it in the end to get my hands on an All-Ireland medal.
It's unbelievable. They're painting pubs and everything green and red. I just hope they'll be green and red on Monday after the All-Ireland final.
Surely you think you can win that game?
We're quietly confident. We've come a long way now. We've been through a lot of hard games, and I really believe we're going to be very hard beaten.
What do you think is the strength of the team? Is it the ability to come back, no matter if the game is going against you or whatever?
Well, before, since 85, when I was on the team, we seemed to be, once we went down, we seemed to be quite easily beaten. But things have changed now. We're a much stronger and older team. We don't like to lose, and we work very hard at not losing.
They have one great trait: the refusal to accept defeat. Doesn't matter, as you know too well, Tommy, during the year the cards were stacked against us several occasions. We were in an impossible position, but the heads never went down or the spirits never flagged. And it's that characteristic, I think, that has stood to us. While we weren't playing all that well, while that refusal to accept defeat was there, it was very hard to beat us. I think it will stand to us very well on the 17th.
Every square inch of Mayo was caught up in the preparations. Webb's Butcher Shop in Ballyhonus, a great football house, wouldn't be left behind. And if Mayo songs were plentiful, then All-Ireland football tickets were very scarce.
It's
pretty difficult to take a Mayo man to the cleaners, despite all the rumours. We're not the Irons we're supposed to be. But you're right, Tommy. There are, as I said, coming from England, there are lots of people, and there are a hell of a lot of wealthy people in England now in the building business and that. And they are quite literally prepared to make any kind of money. When I'm talking in terms of, there's a guy from McNicholas from Bohola, and he's a big contract in London, McNicholas Engineering, and they're coming home. And he, in fact, has togged out the Mayo team from socks to blazers, as you'll see next Sunday. And he's flying in with a party of 15, and he was on to me for tickets. And I told him there was no way he could get 15 tickets. I mean, I get him a couple, and that was it. But he's coming, and that's it. And, he's coming for the crack. And they will buy tickets, no doubt about it, in the black market. Whether the black market will get them this year or not is another story. And then they always seem to do.
I'm sure you've been hearing all sorts of sob stories. What was, say, the most original one you've heard?
Well, I had a person on Saturday morning looking for any kind of a ticket. So I said I'd do my best to get you a Canadian ticket, but then he's got a bad back, so the stand ticket would be preferable.
When Willie Joe was 6 months old, he was lying in his cot. He took a notion in his head and he began to trot. His mother whispered, "Hush the door, it's time for a little nap." But Willie Joe took a mighty leap and landed in her lap. Good on you, Mayo's Willie Joe, good on you, red and green. You're the greatest team in Ireland, the best we've ever seen. Come on, ye men in red and green, you fill our hearts with fire. There's 100,000 Mayo men waiting for the Sam Maguire. Well, the news is all about, and the loyal fans all shout, of a team of men that's ready for the fray. All of Mayo is aglow, and our hopes of glory grow. We're the red and green, let's rally to the cause. So come on, Willie Joe and Kilgallen from Mayo, Dermot Flanagan and Sean Maher and John Finn. Jimmy Browne will light the fire and we'll take the Sam Maguire. John O'Malley's men are really on the move.
Panoramic scene. Croke Park, a cauldron of noise. The parade, part of the build-up, part of an integral portion indeed of the rich tapestry that makes up All-Ireland final day. The fans giving vent to their emotions, warmly acclaiming both teams as the Cork team on the inside. Mayo here having the outside rail, as it were. TJ Kilgallen, left thigh heavily strapped, you'll notice. Proud moment for the two captains, for Dennis Allen, the evergreen forward, and the Mayo skipper, Jimmy Browne, regarded by many Mayo fans as their good luck captain, because whenever he captains a Mayo team, they invariably win. Cork omitting John O'Driscoll, recalling Niall Cahalane to the full-back line, moving Tony Davis to wing-back, and switching Barry Coffey to left-half forward. Mayo also making their one change as they go into the huddle. Final words of guidance. One change since the semi-final for them. This is the alteration. Greg Maher winning a place in the first 15. He's at number 10 with his older brother Sean in midfield, alongside the impressive and high-fielding Liam McHale. Teddy McCarthy, will he be on Liam McHale or Sean Maher? The throw-in and the 101st All-Ireland Footballers final is underway. Teddy McCarthy straight away up to Dennis Allen, receives the return, knifes his way through. Good pace, knocks it outside to Barry Coffey, well blocked down by Micheál Collins of Mayo. But good second phase play, however, by John Cleary, alert to the possibilities, to Paul McGrath. Pushed, it seemed, by Dermot Flanagan, and he was near the sideline, and the referee has signalled that it was a push. It's a free into Cork, a push by Dermot Flanagan. Larry Tompkins, first opportunity to belt this one in, 22 points in his 3 All-Ireland finals so far, including last year's draw, in which he scored 8. Cork are in front.
Tompkins giving Cork a 1-point lead. Jimmy Browne likes to attack. This is Liam McHale. Can he deliver the goods this afternoon? Coonahan, misdirected pass, well read by Coonahan, picked up by Micheál Collins on the Cork 65-metre line. Willie Joe Padden, left-footed across towards Michael Fitzmaurice. It sails over his head towards Jimmy Burke, hoping to get a little bit of leeway against the young full-back Sean Maher. Into Greg Maher, his brother. A right-footed shot comes down off the post into the waiting arms of Mick Slocum. Mayo unlucky. Once again, Cork with a careful build-up, and it's Niall Cahalane on a solo run way up from his right corner forward position. The player they've said wouldn't play for a year. Referee allows him an advantage. Paul McGrath. Here's Tompkins steadying himself. Right-footed, it's curling. It's gone over. Both points of the match credited to Larry Tompkins. That's the first from play. Picked up by Tony Davis. Getting the return. Greg Maher back there, putting in a defence. From Dennis Allen to Larry Tompkins. And a third point. Tompkins, Cork scorer of all 3 points so far. Well, he's starting in very convincing fashion indeed. TJ Kilgallen, his marker, has the left leg strapped, as we noticed in the parade, and I wonder if it's going to hamper his mobility somewhat. Here's Dave Barry, trying to go around John Finn, looking for support, holding it up. A little flick across to John Cleary, getting there, nice sidestep. Good turn of the hips, an incisive run, and John Cleary has scored. Cork have opened up a 4-point lead. Micheál Collins. Willie Joe Padden, superb! Now can they finish? Under pressure. Oh, that's a mighty one from Willie Joe Padden, and Mayo are off the mark. The second fine catch he's made in the match, and it finally produces a score for Mayo. So 4 points to 1. That was a most difficult point to engineer from Willie Joe's point of view. Very much a solo effort. Niall Cahalane taking it right across the face of the goal. Kerrigan to Davis. The dodge and going by Sean Maher. What great pace being shown up towards Dennis Allen. Getting there ahead of Peter Ford. Into Davis once again. He's doing superbly. That was intended for Teddy McCarthy. May come his way just yet, but finally outnumbered. And it's Dermot Flanagan with a good little chip away outside to Greg Maher. Mayo not belting the ball just anywhere, but trying to find their men with good football. This is Jimmy Burke. This is Michael Fitzmaurice. An enterprising move which started right at the back. Fitzmaurice. Oh, it comes down off the post. It's the second time that Mayo has been denied by the upright. Greg Maher initially, and now Michael Fitzmaurice. Oh, Dermot Flanagan has put his defence in trouble with a backward sideline ball, and Paul McGrath, his man, with possession. Back to Teddy McCarthy outside the 20-metre line. Dodging inside, and the error is penalised because it comes off the post. But Cork's luck would seem to be in where the upright's concerned. It's gone over. Teddy's first point, Cork's fifth. Down to Noel Durkin. He's got some leeway. Players in support as well. Still Durkin, free. And a scoreable opportunity for Mayo and for Michael Fitzmaurice. A good run forward by Noel Durkin. The backs were looking on to their men, and nobody ready to put in a challenge. So Michael Fitzmaurice, a young talent whose career has been expertly managed and nurtured through patience and expert guidance. Can this be a second point for Mayo? It certainly is. He's brought free-taking to a fine state-of-the-art. That's his first this afternoon. Jimmy Browne. Again, it's Browne. Good run forward, and there's support from TJ Kilgallen. Again, he opts to carry. Chipping it forward to Willie Joe Padden, drifting away to the right. Coonahan follows. Trying to cut inside. Left-footed inside towards Kevin McStay. McStay and Cahalane. Kevin McStay. And yes, a point! A point for Kevin McStay. And that will do his confidence an awful lot of good. It also boosts the prospects for a really good match. Certainly the opening 18 minutes has been very enjoyable football, and this is Slocum. Trying to dodge around Sean Maher. Still Slocum, their clubmates as of the last couple of weeks. Barry Coffey, good catch. Trying to find up John Cleary, links up well. Tompkins getting around John Finn's challenge, and it's over the bar. Larry Tompkins has kicked his 4th point. So a wonderful piece of scoring by Larry Tompkins. Here's John Finn. Jimmy Burke ran into space, read it well, as it was dropping over the head of Michael Fitzmaurice. Can he get the better of Stephen O'Brien? This is Fitzmaurice. The left footer getting it into Kevin McStay. Was he pushed? Yes, but it's outside the large parallelogram, and it's going to be a free from the 13-metre line. So will he get his 2nd point? Stephen O'Brien being attended to for that nose injury. He slotted it over Fitzmaurice, and so it is indeed 6 points to 4. McHale. Nice ball outside to Jimmy Burke. Mayo looking purposeful. This is Greg Maher. Oh, tripped as he was going through. He's got 2 so far. Again it suits a left-footed kicker. The Mayo fans saluting another point, and it's now 6 points to 5. Beautifully poised, and 25 minutes gone in the first half, which means we've just got about 10 before the interval. Larry Tompkins trying to get the forwards moving again inside, and this is Kevin McStay. This is Mayo's best spell in the match so far. They really feel they can do well, I think, in this game. Michael Fitzmaurice, such a great minor, played here in 85 to Kevin McStay, across towards Jimmy Burke, slack marking, breaks down to Greg Maher, comes off Tony Davis, it goes for the game's first 45. Fitzmaurice from 45 metres, bidding to tie up the scores, drops it short. Kearns gathering securely, feeding it to Stephen O'Brien, now back with the action. Niall Cahalane. Here's Slocum. Jimmy Burke back there, putting in a challenge. The Mayo forwards, once they got rid of their nerves, have done well, working tirelessly, aiding their midfield by coming back and getting in front of the Cork forwards, trying to make it difficult for the onrushing Corkmen. Look where Willie Joe Padden is, back around centre half back. Liam McHale getting some leeway. Fitzmaurice really coming into his stride just now. That comes off Conor Coonahan. A really competitive match, full of intensity. This is McStay, that's McHale, and it's the umpires consulted. It's wide. Yes, it was wide. So Cork still just hanging on by a solitary point. Coffey, an enterprising ball forward towards John Cleary. Cork made the more impressive start, but Mayo have clawed their way back into this fixture, and it's turning out to be an invigorating All-Ireland football final. Coonahan into space to Dennis Allen, towards Paul McGrath, 20 metres out, beating Flanagan to it. It drops down and it's over. The first point of the match for Paul McGrath, edging Cork into a 2-point lead with that amount of time remaining in the first half. Gabriel Irwin's kick out, not such a well-struck one. Dave Barry picking it up. Good menacing run by Dave Barry. The outside of the boot again, and it curls in, and that's gone over as well. His first point. 4 of the 6 forwards now for Cork have scored in this match. 3 of the Mayo forwards have scored. Shea Fahy struggling against Willie Joe Padden. McHale elusive as always. Another good run by Liam McHale. Held up and released to Greg Maher outside there with Tony Davis.
Jimmy Burke playing one of the best matches he's played in the championship so far. Micheál Collins. Well, a real hit and hope one, but the referee saw a late foul out there. A seesawing match so far. Cork having raced into a 4-point lead earlier on, pegged back to just one, have opened up a 3-point gap again, and now Mayo, 5 minutes before half-time, can bring it back to 2. That's the position, thanks to the assured kicking of the place ball there by Michael Fitzmaurice. All his 4 points have come from frees. So once again, John Kearns seeing his options. Again, it's towards that left half forward spot. Barry Coffey beaten on this occasion, and Mayo, I think, have sealed that particular gap. Michael Slocum adding to it there. It's with Kevin McStay. A well-struck left-footed shot by McStay, and again there's just a point difference between the teams. McStay with a second fine point. One of the best championship matches that he's played in so far. An all-star following the 85 season. Then he broke a leg. Meanwhile, it's Jimmy Burke who's down injured, in need of attention on Cork's 45-metre line, and the players are telling the medical people to come across as quick as possible. Frank Davey, the medical officer there of the Mayo team, John O'Mahony there as well to attend to the full forward. This is the action once again, and there's Jimmy Burke colliding with Michael Slocum as he was going down, stumbling that time. It was an accident, no question about that. So Finnerty comes in and joins the attack. He goes straight in at full forward. So John Kearns playing in his 20th championship match this afternoon. So the referee will add some time on, I'm sure, for that delay. Here's Larry Tompkins. Barry Coffey with a neat pick-up. Mayo with 4 men there, but it still is a Cork man in possession. Dave Barry, and Dave Barry has got a second point. Opening up a 2-point gap once again. Cork 9 points, Mayo 7. 2 Mayo players, and the solo wasn't all it might have been, because it allowed Durkin to gain possession, and now it's with Dermot Flanagan. Into the stride of Willie Joe Padden. Saw that his immediate colleague forward was marked, but this is Finnerty. A player who wants to show his pace, prove himself as well, and it comes off Conor Coonahan for another 45. A good piece of defending following a good burst forward by Anthony Finnerty. 2 points the difference, 9 points to 7. Cork the leaders. Will he opt to drop it in? He'll realise that there isn't too much time left in the first half. He's gone for a point, and he's got it! Fine kick from Michael Fitzmaurice, his 5th of the match. They've all come from frees, they've all been critical. He's the game's leading scorer, and now it's so delicately poised, very near to half-time. The people who said it was going to be an easy win for Cork, forget all about it. Mayo meant business. Mayo bidding to win the title for the first time in 38 years. It's 16 years since Cork last won it, 1973. Willie Joe Padden back there, but it's Dave Barry getting the break of the ball outside the Mayo 45-metre line. Paul McGrath's in there, ahead of Dermot Flanagan. On his left, and it's over the bar. Lovely style, clinical finishing from Paul McGrath, his second point. Cork opening up a 2-point advantage once more. And the referee says, let's have the ball in any case. The final piece of action at the end of what has been a very good first half. The fans, 68,000 at Croke Park.
Mayo making mockery of the 3-1 starting price. At half-time, just 2 points between them in a good, open, skillful game of Gaelic football.
Gabriel Irwin appearing in his 4th championship match, taking the kick out. Willie Joe Padden, one-handed, magnificent, he held on to it superbly. And the referee, seeing that there was a push there on Willie Joe Padden. TJ Kilgallen, meanwhile, kicked into space. Teddy McCarthy trying to read it, but it's Liam McHale getting there first. Inside towards Anthony Finnerty, and it's Noel Durkin. This is Finnerty. It's a goal! Mayo go in front for the first time in the match. A goal by Anthony Finnerty with their first attack of the second half. The Mayo fans perhaps scenting a victory.
misses the move, and Noel Durkin was instrumental in getting there ahead of Jimmy Kerrigan and Vic Slocum. The release outside, and that was a super finish by Anthony Finnerty. Max Stay steadying himself. Mayo wondering whether they can bridge nearly 4 decades, 38 years since their last victory. Max Stay, his side a point ahead early in the second half, kicking it in. It's stopped by Shea Fahy. Tigerishly taking it out. There was an interception from Noel Durkin, but it runs favourably for Cork, and kindly onto Barry Coffey, blocked down by superb play by Max Stay again. Willie Joe Padden advancing, menacing to 40 metres outside the goal. Anthony Finnerty trying to swing this right boot to it, and the referee says play on. A favourable position for Finnerty, but he spurns what was a good opening. Just 6 minutes into the second half, and that goal has electrified Croke Park. Sean Maher, Mayo really putting it up to the favourites. High and wide again, Mayo's second wide in the second half, 6 in all now. Teddy McCarthy trying now to come into this match a little bit more, and it's Conor Conahan. Into space nicely to Dave Barry. Remember, a point between the teams. Dave Barry, and it's the equaliser from Dave Barry with his third point of the match. First of the second half, sides level. Cork, I can tell you, are getting ready to make a substitution on the far side. John O'Driscoll will be coming in very soon. It's an hour of peril for Cork right now. Paul McGrath swinging it across to John Cleary. Sides tied up. Cleary trying to put Cork back in front again. Recovering from an awkward angle, he's put it over the bar. His second point, and Cork are now back in front as they were at half-time. McCarthy once again, it runs loose to John Cleary. And that's gone over the bar. An exemplary finish there by John Cleary, his third point of the match, and there's now a 2-point gap again between the sides. Well, Gabriel Irwin from Glenamoy in Mayo still taking the kick out. He plays midfield, incidentally, for his club. Some holding by Larry Tompkins into the back. That time, I think, of Willie Joe Padden. Micheál Collins takes the free quickly. Liam McHale in a good run. Good move forward. Now can he finish? Yes, he can. McHale, his first point of the afternoon. And a point now, the margin once again. This is Durkin. Jimmy Kerrigan having difficulty controlling, and it's McHale losing control, however, followed by Tony Davis right down along the line. Shot half blocked, it comes to Sean Maher, 2 metres out. Max Stay trying to make a darting run through, and the referee says that was a foul. And again, when Cork protested, the referee brought the ball forward, and it's now on the 13-metre line, and this should be the equaliser. And Fitzmaurice has the onus of responsibility, thrust in his shoulders again, which he confidently takes. And in casual fashion, he's put over his 6th pointed free to tie up the scores for what is the second time in the match. Mayo fans up there, really now overjoyed by the level of their team's performance. 3-1 outsiders, the bookmakers had them. They believed they were supporting a good team, and it's Willie Joe Padden here who could well inspire them yet. Greg Maher pushed to the ground, but given an advantage. Stephen O'Brien, his marker. Noel Durkin, 45 metres out, full of intent, finding McHale. There's a player loose inside, that's Finnerty, and a brilliant interception that comes to Sean Maher. Looking for a second goal, blocked down brilliantly by a hard-pressed Cork defence right now. And the ball was scooped on the ground by one of the Cork backs, and it's going to be a free in for Mayo, and they can hit the front once again. Teddy McCarthy looking quite disgruntled with himself. But Paddy Collins saw a touch on the ground, but just back a couple of minutes ago, Mayo were menacing once again. A good run forward by Liam McHale, and Finnerty was the player there, but Kerrigan got in the way. It came to Maher, and the block down splendidly once again, and Cork living a charmed existence just now. 18 minutes gone in the second half. Fitzmaurice, sides level. Another well-struck one, and it's over the bar by Fitzmaurice. His 7th gives Mayo the lead once again. Dermot Flanagan, kick
We're at the sideline ball at a critical stage in the match. Liam McHale blocks it down. The Cork defence freezes. It's Durkin who comes in. Players to aim at. Finnerty is one of them. The driving shot. Oh, it's gone screaming across the face of the goal. Well, if Mayo eventually lose this match by a point or two, that might be the moment they'll look back to. That was a glorious opportunity. Finnerty getting possession. And the flashing shot going right across the face of John Kern's goal. Cork again breathing sighs of relief. Cork struggling at midfield just now, bidding to get any kind of momentum going in the forwards. And this was the side who led by 4 points in the opening 10 minutes. Finnerty once again from that beautifully directed pass by McHale. Oh, I think he might have gone for a point himself that time, because Greg Maher was not expecting the short ball to come his way. Here's Slocum. There was a push, I think, or was there? Yes, the referee saw a push by Dermot Flanagan on the new man into the Cork attack, Michael McCarthy. So a quarter of an hour, a little less than that, about 14 minutes in fact remaining to decide the destiny of this year's All-Ireland Championship. Slocum taking back that free, which wasn't all that well hit in the first place. Tompkins was calling for it, so was Dennis Allen. Allen with possession. Can he give the leadership? He lays it off inside, and it's gone over the bar. It's a point by Paul McGrath. McGrath's third. So the sides are level once again. Conor Coonahan under it with Greg Maher. It breaks down to Niall Cahalane trying to take the game by the scruff of the neck for Cork. Michael McCarthy rounding Dermot Flanagan. Still Flanagan in pursuit. McCarthy kicking, scoring, and Cork have gone in front once again. A useful substitution by Cork. Michael McCarthy's first point. Liam McHale, superb at midfield. Challenged by Dennis Allen. It breaks down to Paul McGrath, 45 metres out from goal. Is the game going to be won and lost for the next few minutes? Teddy McCarthy flying, it's over the bar. Teddy McCarthy's second point. Cork are ahead by 2 points, and there are now just over 8 minutes remaining. Dermot Flanagan facing his own end line, doing well, extricating himself from difficulty, and backed up by TJ Kilgallen through the pass outside there. Quite legally towards John Finn. It's picked up by John O'Driscoll. A searing run forward, and there's no marking inside. Paul McGrath was loose, and for a moment there as well, Michael McCarthy was loose. It's with McCarthy. The turn. Well tackled by Micheál Collins, but it's still McCarthy. And the high angle shot has gone over the crossbar, and Michael McCarthy has picked 2 points for Cork since coming on as a substitute. And this Skibbereen player is delighted with himself, he'll be sure, as he opens up a 3-point gap. So a goal separating the sides, and on my watch, 6 minutes to go. Dennis Allen to Danny Cullity. Cork would seem to have weathered the storm, or are we being a bit previous? McCarthy, no luck with his shooting this time. Here's John Finn to set things moving from left half back for Mayo. Mayo have played some really fine football this afternoon. There was a jersey held, it was Liam McHale, it was being held by Teddy McCarthy, and a substitute, Brian Kilkelly, coming in. Kilkelly's the one who comes in. He's come in each of the last 3 matches for Mayo. He's set up goals and he's scored points in the past. Can he do likewise in the remaining 10 minutes of this match? And it's Greg Maher who's the one who's called off. So the 2 Mahers who started this ended in the dugout. TJ Kilgallen will be the free taker. That's 65 metres out from his own goal. Exactly 5 minutes to go now. Cork ahead by 3. Mayo looking for another score, perhaps a goal. Will it be Finnerty who'll set it up for them? That's neatly inside. Kept going. Fitzmaurice with the final shot, rasping, but wide of the target. Mayo's 10th wide in this match.
Yes, that last point by Michael McCarthy might be the crucial one. The Mayo backs were caught ball watching. Lack of concentration, didn't do the marking job. There were 3 Cork forwards free, and the point ensued from that. Bad defensive play by Mayo. That lapse could be costly.
Still under pressure back there in their back division, and it's John Finn, left half back, gathering with poise. Kicking deep into a congested midfield, congested with Corkman, but it's taken by Ray Dempsey, and Ray Dempsey holds. He was fouled by Conor Coonahan. And the Cork defence not yielding any space, and the referee Paddy Collins, who's handled the game very well, I feel, penalising the Cork defence a further 10 metres. Kevin McStay looks like he's going to be the one to take it. I feel he might well be better used in around the forward line just now, but it's McStay who takes it in any case. A good ball too. McHale is in there, punched, but stopped by Jimmy Kerrigan, and Kerrigan safely gathers. He's fouled, and it's going to be a free out. That was a vital interception by Kerrigan, who made another vital interception earlier in the match when McHale was the one again who was leading the path in on goal. That's McStay's well-driven ball, high. McHale is in there waiting, fisted on, and Kerrigan, what positioning. And this really has to be the last attack from Mayo's point of view. Willie Joe Padden is beaten. Mayo looking a little disjointed in the last few minutes. Cork pressing home their advantage. Teddy McCarthy holding it up. Teddy, who scored 2 points so far in the game, fails to add to his tally. Teddy, who's buzzed around well at midfield, given a lot of leadership, and there it is! Cork are the All-Ireland football champions! And for Billy Morgan over there and the Cork selectors, the end of a long quest for honour. They win the All-Ireland final. Final score, Cork 17 points, Mayo 1 goal and 11. So the Cork side beaten, and Coleman Corrigan is there with Dr. Con Murphy, and John O'Mahony shaking the hand of Billy Morgan, courteous and gracious in defeat.
In those days after the All-Ireland final, when Mayo returned to their native county, they were treated like kings. The welcome was so emotional, it will stick in the minds of the players for the rest of their lives. Maybe the scenes will inspire them to cross one last hurdle and bring the Sam Maguire back over the Shannon and home to Mayo. Now, we all know about the Cork song that talks of the stone outside Dan Murphy's door. But maybe in the months and years to come, people in Mayo, people in Connacht, will talk about the sign that was on John O'Mahony's door.
Where the Moy River's flowing, our hopes and dreams are growing. Sam's coming back to Mayo, back west where he belongs. Sam's coming back to Mayo, back west where he belongs. Where the Moy River's flowing, our hopes and dreams are growing. Sam's coming back to Mayo, back west where he belongs. Sam's coming back.